They say when you know, you know. But on Love Island, people are all in after 48 hours and calling someone their soulmate before they even know their last name. 1 minute, it's fairy tale romance. The next, they're recoupling with your best friend and saying, "It's just how I feel right now." It feels sudden, extreme, even manipulative, and that's because it is. What you're seeing isn't just fast love. It's something psychologists call love bombing. It's the ultimate illusion, overwhelming someone with affection, attention, and promises to win them over fast, only to pull away once you've got them hooked. In real life, it's a red flag. On Love Island, it's practically a survival tactic. In this video, we're diving into how love bombing works, why it's so addictive, and how islanders use it, consciously or not, as a secret weapon. Because on Love Island, falling too fast isn't just risky. It might be part of the game. Love bombing sounds romantic at first. Who wouldn't want someone who's obsessed with them? Who showers them with attention, compliments, and promises of forever? It feels like a dream, until it doesn't. At its core, love bombing is a psychological manipulation tactic. It happens when someone tries to gain control over you by overwhelming you with affection. They tell you everything you want to hear, how special you are, how they've never felt this way before, how they're all in. It's fast, intense, and flattering. But here's the twist. It's not about love, it's about power. The love bomber isn't trying to connect emotionally. They're trying to win, to gain trust quickly, to create dependence. And once you're hooked, the behavior changes. They pull back, they get distant. They might even flip the script and make you feel needy for expecting the same affection they used to give freely. In real life, this pattern is common in narcissistic relationships where validation is used as a weapon. But on Love Island, love bombing becomes a kind of strategy. The faster you connect, the more protected you are from being dumped. Viewers root for couples who seem in love. Islanders know this, and that's what makes love bombing such a powerful tool in the villa. It's not always conscious. But the effects? They're very real and very damaging. Nowhere is love bombing more obvious or more rewarded than on Love Island. The villa is a pressure cooker. Everything is fast-forwarded. Deep chats happen on day 1, people are calling each other wifey material by day 3, and by the end of week 1, they're talking about meeting the parents. In this world, intensity is currency. The more in love you look, the safer you are, from being dumped, from public backlash, and from those dreaded solo dates. That's why love bombing thrives in this environment. When an islander suddenly pulls someone for a chat, makes eye contact, and says, "I'm all in for you," it feels genuine. But what if they were saying the same thing to someone else 2 days ago? What if they only pulled back when someone new walked in? This isn't just romance, it's performance. A race to build the strongest emotional storyline before the next recoupling. And viewers often get hooked too. We root for the loyal ones. We fall for the sweet talk. But the signs of love bombing are right there. The rushed confessions, the exaggerated flattery, the sudden switches when temptation arrives. Some islanders use it to survive. Others, unknowingly, repeat toxic patterns they've learned outside the villa. But regardless of the reason, the effect is the same. The person being love-bombed is left confused, hurt, and questioning their own worth, while the love bomber moves on, unfazed, to the next connection. Love bombing isn't just emotionally manipulative, it's chemically addictive. When someone showers you with attention, your brain reacts. You get a hit of dopamine, the feel-good hormone tied to pleasure and reward. Compliments, cuddles, eye contact, it all triggers dopamine. You start associating that person with happiness, validation, and safety. Then comes oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's released through physical touch and emotional closeness. When an islander wraps their arm around someone in bed or opens up about a past heartbreak, it's not just sweet. It's bonding on a neurochemical level. But here's where it turns toxic. After all the highs, the love bomber suddenly changes. Maybe they get distant. Maybe they pull away. Your brain panics. It doesn't understand the withdrawal. This emotional inconsistency releases cortisol, the stress hormone, leaving you anxious and craving that earlier affection. This push-pull dynamic is exactly what creates emotional dependency. Even if deep down something feels off, you want to go back to how it was. You replay the good moments, hoping they'll come back. You blame yourself. You try harder. That's how love bombing works. It hijacks your nervous system and turns you into a participant in your own confusion. And in a setting like Love Island, where trust is fleeting and cameras are always watching, this cycle plays out quickly. One day you're everything they've ever wanted. The next, they're testing a connection with someone new. But by then, you're already hooked. Not all love bombing is calculated. In fact, some people don't even realize they're doing it. On Love Island, the pressure to couple up fast creates emotional shortcuts. Islanders are isolated from friends, family, and reality. Pair that with 24/7 cameras and looming recouplings, and suddenly even the most genuine feelings can get accelerated. Sometimes what looks like love bombing is actually an insecure attachment style playing out in real time. People with anxious attachment, for example, crave connection and fear abandonment. They may come on strong, not to manipulate, but to feel safe. They overshare, idealize, and fall fast because they're scared of being alone. On the flip side, people with avoidant attachment may be the ones pulling back just as things get close, creating that confusing cycle. So, is it manipulation? Not always. Sometimes it's emotional survival, people playing out patterns they don't fully understand. But intention doesn't always change impact. Whether it's a strategy to stay in the villa or an unconscious habit, the result is still emotional whiplash. Someone gets deeply invested, someone else gets bored, overwhelmed, or distracted by a new bombshell. And just like that, the bond breaks. The truth is, love bombing on Love Island isn't always evil, but it's always dangerous. So how do you spot love bombing, especially when it looks so much like love? Here are 5 psychological red flags to look out for, both on Love Island and in real life. Rapid declarations of love. If someone is saying, "I'm falling for you," within days or hours, pause. Real emotional connection takes time. Fast-forwarding intimacy is a classic love bombing move. Constant attention and touch. Always wanting to cuddle, text, or talk every second can feel flattering, but it's often a tactic to build dependency. If someone doesn't give you breathing room, it's not passion, it's control. Big promises, no foundation. Talking about babies, moving in together, or meeting your parents without truly knowing you? That's emotional bait. They're using fantasy to lock you in. Sudden emotional withdrawal. After the highs come the lows. If their energy shifts fast, if they go from obsessed to distant without warning, it's not your fault. It's a pattern. Making you doubt yourself. Love bombers often flip the narrative. When you ask for consistency, they accuse you of being needy. This gaslighting keeps you off balance and stuck chasing validation. On Love Island, these red flags are everywhere. But in real life, spotting them early can save you a lot of heartbreak. So let's recap. Love bombing feels like love, but it's really about control. It shows up fast, hits hard, and leaves you confused when the affection suddenly disappears. On Love Island, it's easy to mistake this intensity for a genuine connection. But now, you know the red flags. Remember, real love grows slowly, steadily, and with mutual effort. If someone's rushing the bond or flipping the script when they lose interest, trust your gut. It's not you, it's the game. Now, I want to hear from you. Which Islander this season do you think was love bombing? Drop their name in the comments and let's talk about it. And if you've ever experienced this in real life, you're not alone. Hit the like button if this video made you feel seen. Subscribe for more love psychology deep dives, and until next time, protect your heart and watch for the signs.